Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Popular Decks. I'm your host Michael. Today I'm going to be playing a third round with this Grixis Teachings deck. I've been getting a lot better at it since the last two videos. I've gone 4-1 twice and should have been 5-0 in both of them, but I punted away a match in both, so getting better. So hopefully this goes better than the last two videos. I have made very few changes since the last time. If you want to watch a full deck tech, go check out my first video on this deck, and then I'll quick go through some of the updates. I added a copy of Debt to the Kami. So this is a new card from Neon Dynasty or whatever, and this was pretty much already a card, except it didn't exile. It made them sacrifice it. But I'm going with this Debt to the exile version, just in case. And this is kind of nice because it gives me a main deck answer to the red curse and any other problematic enchantments. I don't really come across very many enchantments besides the curse that I care about. Usually I can get a pestilence off the board by clearing it of creatures, and there aren't very many other problematic enchantments really, but I've got one of those just in case. And beyond that, I've got this Magma Spray, which I think I had already the last time I played the deck, but that's an important one in certain matchups just to have access to one exile. And then in the sideboard here, I've made a couple changes, I think, since last time. I've added a Shattering Pulse and a Steel Sabotage. So Steel Sabotage, 1 mana answer to Mirror Enforcer, which is nice. And you can also blow out Cleansing Wildfire with this sometimes. Just kind of cool. If they target one of their artifact lands, you bounce it to their hand. That's kind of cool. And then Shattering Pulse. To be honest, destroying artifacts against the artifact deck is really not a super winning strategy, but it can be nice to be able to kill a couple Mirror Enforcers with the same card here. So that's that. I don't think any of this other stuff is new. I think I had a Weather the Storm last time, but this is just for burn. I've got some Graveyard Hate and various other things. I went down to just 2 Thorn of the Black Rose. I thought 3 was too many. Wasn't a card I wanted to deploy early in the game because then I straight up can't win a lot of the time. It's more a card where I want to get it after my opponent has maybe drawn 5 or 6 cards from their own Monarch, and then I play it a little later to take the Monarchy back once they have twice as many cards. Once I have twice as many cards in my deck as they do. So don't want to draw it too early or cast it too early. I definitely lost a match because I played the Thorn too early and then just drew my whole deck before my opponent did. So that's that. I think the only other changes I added, one more Cycle Land. I added the black Cycle Land Barrenmoor. I've been flooding out a little too much, I think, so I added one more of those. I think that's it. Let's get to some games. And before we do that, if you guys enjoy this content, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have any recommendations for me for decks to play or ways to improve the content, then just shoot me a comment. I read all my comments and I reply to a lot of them. So you have a lot of incentive, I guess, to do that. You can shape the content that you see on here. All right, let's get to the game. All right, here we are for round number 1, playing against M&M. I think I beat M&M in my last league, but I don't remember what they were playing, and I was maybe playing a different deck as well. So they're on the play, and they mulligan to 6 cards. Let's see what they've got. All right, looks like they're playing a Boros deck. These Boros decks are all the rage at the moment, mostly because that one new card is completely busted, so I kind of understand why they're all the rage. I think I have enough removal. I'm going to keep this Bolt, but I'm not going to keep the Cast Stone. Forget the name of the card, but we'll probably see it pretty soon here. Okay, Spare Supplies, not too exciting from our opponent there. Alright, I think I'm going to Ponder here. Then I get to keep one of these, and then I can shuffle away the other one, which is nice. So I'm going to keep this Behold the Multiverse, not shuffle, play this, and pass the turn. Most likely going to cycle my Ashen Barrens here. I can get rid of some of these stops here, now that I'm not playing a normal deck. Alright, we don't care about Spare Supplies. Can have as many of those as they want. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another island here. I'll find a black source eventually. I'm not that concerned with finding one super early. All right, I'm just gonna hold up exclude here. Spare supplies means it's not the super aggressive version of this deck. That's important because it means my opponent might have some copies of, I'm gonna exclude this, might have some copies of Palace Sentinels. So I do need to be aware of that. All right, killed the Glinthawk. Probably play a, okay, Golden Egg. So I'd like to find a land here. I didn't find one. I'm going to preordain and hope to find an untapped land, which I did. I might have enough card advantage. No, I'll keep this thing twice. The mountain on top. So I'm going to be trying to kill my opponent's creatures and save this exclude for a monarch creature. Alright, don't care about that. If they just want to sit around drawing cards, that's fine with me. Unfortunately, putting that thing twice on top means I'm going to have to discard this turn, but that's not the end of the world. So I think I'll discard this Chainer's Edict. I'm not too scared to use this Behold because I really don't want to get hit by Monarchy this early in the game. I can handle it a little later, but not this early. Raven Inspector's fine. Hopefully they play another creature that dies to Cannonade. Doesn't look like it. I think I'm going to Behold here. And then I'll probably just bolt this Raven Inspector on my turn if I don't want to discard. I don't really want more removal. I kind of have a lot of removal at this point. Alright, let's just bolt this guy. We'll play the Cliffs out. Pass the turn. Alright, things are looking okay. One thing I have to worry about with Golden Egg, they might have Reaping the Graves, so that's something to think about at some point here. I'm going to cycle this for a Swamp. Play Think Twice. So at this point, we're pretty much just looking for teachings. I want to start capsizing my opponent out pretty soon here. And by pretty soon, I mean like in 5 or 6 turns. I'm not going to be doing that right away. All right. That's fine. Let's brainstorm here. Didn't find anything too exciting. Let's put some removal spells on top. And I'm going to play this Thriving Bluff on black. That way I can flashback the Chainer's Edict at some point here. So I have a ton of land drops lined up here. So if they just want to try to wait me out, it's probably not really going to work. I'm going to have to do some discarding starting next turn here, but I'm fine with that. Of course, Skyfisher's fine. I'm not overly concerned with them getting 2-for-1s. I'm scared of them getting like a 10-for-1 off of the Palace Sentinels. I'm not scared of them, slowly whittling down my resources. I think I'm going to Innocent Blood this. Then I can play my Boiler Works. I don't have to discard. So I was going to have to discard anyway, so that's why I really don't care about them getting an extra card. Yep, just passing the turn, trying to wait me out. Might work if I don't draw anything. We'll see. So this is a synthesizer is like completely busted. So they're gonna get like a 10-for-1 out of it, basically, since I couldn't counter it. Again, I'm not sure I care that much about it. But they are going to get to draw like a billion cards. The only thing I'm worried about is getting burned out, really. They're so far away from hitting me with any creatures that I'm not super worried about creatures. Yep. I mean, this obviously isn't great for me that they just got like, they drew like 9 cards this turn or something. We probably just cast another one. There's the Palace Sentinels we've been waiting for. Let's get to exclude that guy. Then I'm going to think twice. Talisman's not super exciting. So let's go ahead and cast down the Skyfisher. And I think I'm going to let that Glinthawk hit me at least one time here. Let's play out the Talisman, Carnarium. Possible I should have gotten my Swiftwater Cliffs back there. So I'm going to be in trouble. I mean, they're probably going to find another Palace Sentinels with all these cards. And I've only drawn 2 counterspells in my top 30-something cards. So that's a little frustrating. But we're doing okay unless they hit a Palace Sentinels. They've still got about 1 million cards lined up. Yeah, so what I'm mostly worried about is they're going to have probably a lot of burn spells in their hand. So it could definitely have 6, like, it could probably have 4 or 5 burn spells at this point. I think I'm going to go ahead and cannonade this board right now. Okay. I think I'm going to Flame Slash that Skyfisher. So discarding some more lands. I'm still just not finding just anything at all. All right, gonna gain 1 more life here with my Swiftwater Cliffs. So we'll probably win this game if I find a Teachings in the next like 3 or 4 turns. We'll probably lose this game if I don't. It would have been really nice if I could have capsized some of these lands. It really slows down their experimental synthesizer strategy. Because you can really only play this card if you've got like at least 2 mana up afterwards. Guardian's fine, don't care about that guy. I'll just flashback Chainer's Edict on it. Don't care about Glinthawk either. They're going to pick up a synthesizer, I'm sure. Drawing 1 million cards from it. Alright, I guess I will bolt the Glinthawk. Tap my Talisman. Untap. Another Cannonade. Alright, let's Chainer's Edict away the Guardian. Gain 1 more life. They're still not quite there yet, but at some point they're going to get to a spot where they can't play a Palace Sentinels anymore. They can only play this. They can't cycle it, I don't think. But they can play it and then eventually bounce it with Boros Garrison at some point here. So unfortunately, I haven't drawn a single counterspell since my opening hand. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cast down this guy. So they're going to draw a ton of cards here. So really I need to, like, survive all their burn spells at this point. And I need to draw some card advantage spells here pretty quick. So they've got 28 points of burn in their deck, most likely. They'll be able to deploy all of it at one turn. I assume they have 4 Galvanic Blast and 4 Lightning Bolt, although we haven't seen a single one yet on any of these synthesizers, so maybe they don't. It's definitely going to be a close game here. I think I need to draw teachings for my... they still haven't hit any burn spells with these. I really need to hit a teachings to grab my life gain spell. I don't think they're going to be able to kill me fast enough to get through that. So there's one blast. Could easily have all the rest of them in their hand. So the question is if I take a hit from these or not. It'll depend on what I draw. Perfect, I finally drew one. So let's just cast this, see what I get. I think I will take the exclude. Counterspell's good, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. I'm going to want to cast all my stuff this turn probably, so I'm going to play my mountain so I have 11 mana up. So they should definitely attack before doing anything else here. Yeah, I shouldn't be playing out this Thraben Inspector. Unless they've got... Okay, I'm not blocking, but I am going to cast this, so... So I have to make sure that I use all my non-blue sources here. This cannonade. So the question is, do I take the 2? Okay, so they do have prismatic strands. That's pretty bad. I'm going to cast another one here. I'm going to get destroyed by a second prismatic strands probably. So I guess it makes sense then to play the Thraben Inspector out. Looks like they found one. That stinks. Okay, so I think I lose now. I don't think I could have played anything in this game differently, just because I drew just no spells basically the whole time. And it's not like they tapped so low that I could have resolved one of those last turn either. I mean, we'll see. But I assume we're dead. I've got to be dead this turn, I assume. Okay. I think I'm going to exclude that just so I can draw a card. Another land. I mean, get rid of a Thraben Inspector, I suppose. These tokens having Vigilance really makes it tough to deal with these prismatic strands. Like, I don't think I could have done anything. Like, I couldn't have countered that. Couldn't have countered that Thraben Inspector, and Haven't done anything. I mean, if they're not playing any bolts in their deck, I might live. So Galvanic Blast. I do have a lot of stuff that maybe make it tough to fit all the burn spells in, but I gotta let that one hit me. So I think I need to draw Crypt Incursion this turn. Even then, I'm probably dead. Should not have waited for me to untap here. Probably. It probably doesn't matter. Yep, dead. Alright, what is I gonna draw? Nothing. Well, that draw sucked. On to the next game. So I'm gonna want my Hydroblasts and all this stuff. Shattering Pulse is okay. And I want my Thorns. So I want all this stuff. Tetsu the Kami's pretty bad. The Edicts are not great. Electrickery is bad. Magma Spray is bad. I'm going to take out some amount of like individual removal spells here. I want to keep the Terminate so I can kill the guy with protection from monocolor. And I want to keep some Edicts in also for that guy, so maybe I don't take those out. Maybe I'll cut the cast downs. I'm going to cut one Cannonade. 2 Cannonades, I think. No, I'm going to keep one. I'm going to keep 3. Oh, what else do I cut? I've been cutting... sometimes I've been cutting my cantrips in these spots. Maybe I cut one bolt. One Innocent Blood. Let's do that. And then I'm going to cut maybe a land. Maybe I just have too many lands in this deck. Could be it. It could be the problem. I'm going to cut Nash Barons, I think. Nah. What land am I going to cut, you guys? Let's cut a swamp. I don't need swamps. Let's do it. Alright, yes, I'd like to play first. This hand seems decent enough. I'm going to keep it. It's crazy that game I missed a land drop early, and then I never missed another one, I don't think, for the rest of the game. maybe I missed a couple in there, but I drew a lot of lands. But that's what happens when you play a giant deck. You're more prone to hit clumps. It's just a mathematical fact. Even if you have the same ratio of lands and spells as a normal deck, still more likely to get screwed or flooded. Let's think twice. Perfect. Drew an island and another island. Run out the Pristine Talisman. I'm not concerned with anything that they can cast on turn 3. Synthesizer is pretty annoying into the perfect card. Unless they were like really hoping for a land. So that's pretty annoying. I get to take my card advantage away. So obviously they weren't hoping to hit a land because they already had one. Glenhawk's fine. I think I'm going to counter this Synthesizer on the way back down. If they cast it this turn. Well, I guess I'm not going to, because I can't. Looks like I won't be casting anything this turn. Supplies is fine. Mountain here. Let's Flame Slash the Glint Hawk. Exile my Flame Slash. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and counter this, I think. It's like a draw 20, so might as well counter it. And this gets some cards in my graveyard, so I can start using, I can put my teachings into the graveyard without losing it. Yeah, a lot less scared of Glint Hawks that like make them pay 2 mana to draw a card instead of 0 mana to draw a card, and then 1 mana to draw a second card. Ash Barrens is a decent one. So this turn I'm probably I'm gonna teachings most likely here. And then I'm gonna teachings for teachings. And I'm gonna try to flash back my teachings before they can exile my whole graveyard. Happy to take some beats from this Glint Hawk. Hopefully it takes them a little while to find another synthesizer. All right, teachings for teachings. So they can pop their relic if they want to exile 1 teachings, but I've got another one now. All right. Best turn here. So I really want to be able to flashback this teachings this turn, so they should try to cast something that I want to counter. Spare Supplies isn't it, but they've still got enough for another, for a Palace Sentinels. They've got enough for a Palace Sentinels. Oh, another Relic. Ugh. That one's rough. I'm just going to lose to a Sentinels here, I think, because I'm going to flash this back if they try to Relic me. Which they should do right now. No, okay. So I'm going to grab an Exclude with this one. So my goal is to not keep really anything of value in my graveyard at any point now. I'm going to play this for now. I'm sure I'll be able to pick that up at some point. So I'm going to Edict this Glint Hawk this turn, I think. All right. The Raven Inspector is annoying, but I'm going to let that happen. If they play a Skyfisher, I think I'll counter it, especially I will now. So I'm going to wait to cast his teachings until I have 10 mana. I've got 9 now, so I'm pretty close. So really need to win this game, and then I think there's a decent chance they'll be too low on time to win a long third game. But we'll see. Garrison's fine. All right, looks like they're going for it. I'll exclude. All right, I'll counter that. Hopefully they don't have yet another Red Elemental Blast. because that'd be very tough for me to beat. Ooh, Disrupt is a nice one. I'm going to go ahead and cycle this. I'm not going to bolt this. I'm going to save the bolt for a 2-power creature, I think. All right, I'm going to grab another black. I think 4 blue is probably enough for now. Yeah, I don't know. I probably would need a 5th blue more than I need a 2nd black source, but I'm still going to go with it this way. I don't expect to get any value out of this Disrupt, but hopefully I can just cast on something that they have and turn it into a card. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll just play this out. Now I can teachings twice here. Yeah, I can't really do anything about that, so I just have to let that resolve. That's pretty brutal. The other thing about these relics is they turn off my Crypt Incursion, which is a tough one. So I should definitely be casting something that I want to counter this turn, because this is the turn I want to cast my teachings. So I'm going to teachings for teachings on the first one. They should only counter this if they have multiples. If they have multiple counter spells, which it seems like they don't. All right, grab 2 teachings. I'm going to grab, I think, a Behold the Multiverse with my other one here. So I can't really grab anything interactive at the moment. Blue, I have a ton of red, so I guess I'll do black there. So if they don't cast anything that I want to counter again, I'm going to do the teachings, the same teachings play again. My guess would be something will happen that I want to cast one of these spells, but you never know. All right, just a bridge. That's fine. They got a 2/2. All right, this teachings again is going to get another teachings. This one I think is going to get an exclude. Yeah, I'm going to grab an exclude with this one. Thriving Bluff, gonna make a blue, I think. Pass the turn here. So let's see what they do this time. So I could still sabotage this, but I think I just am not fighting on the card advantage axis anymore in this game. I'm gonna let that bolt hit me. Let's go ahead and teachings. So at some point I'm gonna have to fiery cannonade these guys all away. Unless I want to capsize them all away. Which I could try to do. think I'm just going to get the Cannonade. Teachings for something else. I think I'm going to get a Dispel with this one. Dispel is basically better than well, maybe I'll get a Hydroblast. It doesn't stop Prismatic Strands, but I think that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and bolt one of these end of turn, and we'll see if I'm dead. I could definitely get burned out right here and die, but they could also Prismatic Strands. Okay, looks like we did not die, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and foretell this. I should have cycled this first because I'm going to cycle it. I guess I'll get another black source now. So this Cannonade means they're going to have to hold up mana for Prismatic Strands for a while here. I wonder what my opponent has. Maybe just tons and tons of land? That seems unlikely, though. Let's cast this Behold. Don't want that. I'll take a Preordain. Cast this Behold. Okay, I think I will take the Shattering Pulse, and I don't want this Aqueduct. Cycle this guy. All right. All right, so this is an interesting one here. So I want to, I think, find some removal for these guys. So I'm going to start with the Preordain. I'll take a Counterspell, though. I think I'm going to Brainstorm. Put 2 lands. And then I'll Preordain both of those away. Unfortunately, I didn't find any removal. And I can't really play this Thorn out until I can kill both these guys. So, fortunately, we're going to be waiting another turn here. Okay. My opponent decided to exile everything. Glinthawk. What am I going to do about Glinthawk? Could kill their try to kill all their artifacts. Glinthawk's a tough one. Yeah, I think I'll let it resolve. Maybe I should have killed the Synthesizer in response with Hydroblast. So I'm going to take the 3. Yeah, I don't think I'm fighting the card advantage battle. So that one I think I will counter. Boilerworks is trash. I'm not sure I care too much about the Sentinels at this point because I have the Thorn. Oh, what am I going to do here? So, I think I have to let this resolve. So I'm going to go ahead and Shattering Pulse their Great Furnace, I think. Okay, they obviously don't care about that, and they shouldn't. And I think I'm going to Shattering Pulse the Relic also. And then they have to decide what they're going to do about that. So if they crack it here, they won't have enough mana to pay for Disrupt. Yep. So Eminem's a good player and figured that out. So I need to find another counterspell here, which I did not find. So I'm getting really punished for getting this Hydroblast instead of a Dispel. I think I'm going to play out this Thorn. I put a stop in my end step. I'm going to see if I can kill everything. I'm going to see what I draw in my end step and see if I can kill everything. Crypt Incursion, not great at the moment. I think I'm still going to try to kill everything with Cannonade. So I'm going to see if I can find a counterspell here. Bolt's not great. I guess I'm going to bolt this Glinthawk. Yeah, I'm getting really punished for getting this Hydroblast. I had gotten it with the intent of countering an experimental synthesizer, but I think that was just a bad plan. So they're going to burn my Thorn, I'm sure. I think I'll Hydroblast it. I mean, these counter spells aren't going to do anything more than counter burn spells anyway, so... Alright. I'll probably die this turn, but we'll see. I think this game pretty much came down to them hitting that relic off of their synthesizer on turn 2 or on turn 3 or whatever. So they get the Monarchy back. Skyfisher are going to pick up the synthesizer. Yeah, 1 mana draw 2 is like just so broken. And even like just these tokens having vigilance has been a huge deal with the prismatic strands. Oh, I was 1 card away. Yeah, I bet we win this game if I hit this Dispel. Maybe I should have waited 1 more turn. Right now I can only gain 6 life. So it's really not enough. Okay. Wow. That's kind of crazy. Yep. Can't do anything about that. I don't think there's a way I can kill enough of these creatures to mill them out. Galvanic Blast is tough. I'm going to have to dispel that. I don't think there's any way I'm going to be able to... If I could kill all these inspectors... Maybe I should have brought my relics in just for the strands, but I don't think so. Alright, let's see what I get. Hydroblast, just teasing me. Alright, capsize could be something. How many things can I capsize? Like 2? It's probably not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I can capsize 2 things with buyback plus Crypt Incursion. Oh man. I guess I should have waited one more turn. No, because then they wouldn't have... No, I couldn't wait one more turn, because then my Disrupt wouldn't have worked. I'm sure they have another Prismatic Strands in hand. Think I have to put these both on the bottom? Alright, redraw. Man, these Hydroblasts, instead of being dispels, are really just killing me. The fact that they can attack with everything and just still have creatures untapped, like have a creature untapped, is annoying. So I don't think there's any way that they mess this up, but we'll see. How much damage is this? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I mean, I'm not technically dead. They have nothing. This is obviously not going to work, so I feel pretty safe casting it. I can't even wait because this is like too much damage. This is what I needed last game. I think I could have won last game definitely if I had gotten a Crypt Incursion at some point. Is casting this on black so their Sentinels doesn't die. It's pretty aggressive. Yeah, I think I let this resolve. I mean, I can't win unless they like make some big mistakes here and like draw too many cards for some reason. Well, they have an Elemental Blast, but we'll go out swinging. RIP. GG's, Eminem. Oh, they let it resolve. Did they mess up somehow? Well, okay, I guess I'll I'll play on. No, I'll concede. Okay. Good game. All right. Man, this experimental synthesizer is really brutal. Being a one mana draw two is just completely busted. Yeah, I don't know if I should have waited. I couldn't beat a second Prismatic Strands if I waited. I also couldn't beat Red Elemental Blast. So I don't think I could really wait another turn on that critical turn. Yeah, I just don't think it quite lined up right. This matchup is only okay. It used to be really good for the Teachings decks, but now they have now that they have Palace Sentinels and a one mana draw two, it's hard to keep up on cards with them. So, all right, on to the next round. All right, on to round number 2. We're on the play, playing against Icodesia, and this hand seems fine. I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I'll keep it. I don't know what they're playing, so I'm not going to play my Preordain on turn 1, but I am going to hold up Disrupt. Okay. Cleansing Wildfire deck probably makes me want to leave up Disrupt again, and I'll probably just cast this Whispers if they don't play the Cleansing Wildfire. Ichor Wellspring. Looks like we're playing against some kind of affinity deck. I'm going to go ahead and name blue with this. I'd rather have double blue than my first black source. I don't need black yet. Of course, they're playing Synthesizer as well. I think if you're not playing Synthesizer in your deck, you're probably making a mistake in this format. I find it hard to believe that. I honestly kind of think that every deck is unplayable besides Synthesizer decks, but it might not be the case. I'm going to Brainstorm now because I might want to hold up some blue mana on my turn. Put this Debt to the Kami on top. And then I might Preordain that away, I think. Okay. Debt to the Kami on the bottom. I guess I'll miscalc on the top. So what I don't know is if my opponent... I think they're probably playing Affinity and not Storm, but sometimes it can be hard to tell. I'm going to put that on top and hold that up this turn. Yep, can't even counter it because it only costs 1. Another free mana. Can't counter that because I don't have to pay any mana for anything. Can't counter that either. I can bolt that at least. Let's go ahead and bolt this guy. They might sack the star or something. Alright, looks like I get to disrupt this, which is nice. Alright, Cannonade's pretty bad. I think I'm going to play out my Talisman and hold up Exclude. Oh no, I can't do that. I don't have enough mana to do that. I'm just going to wait then. I'm going to eat some damage from this Mirror Enforcer. I think this deck is probably a little too fast for us. Yeah, I think we lose. I can't counter this, and I can't beat it, so I think that's game over. Unfortunately. Maybe I can try to find my... I guess I'll have to find my Debt to the Kami at some point. Alright. Let's Behold. This is the other enchantment I forgot to mention. When I was talking at the beginning. I guess I have to keep both of these, unfortunately. Because I gotta kill this guy. I want to keep the swamp so I can eventually debt this away. Alright, I'll wait till their upkeep, probably, or... I guess there's no reason to do it before they attack. Yep, they get to deal me a bunch of damage here. If they tap out, then I guess I'll terminate this guy so they can't hit me for 1 with it. So the reason this is like so brutal is each one of these draws a card and deals me a damage for 1 mana. And then each land is 1 damage. Frogmite doesn't matter. Star is another damage with the munitions. I think I'll just cannonade this Frogmite away for mana efficiency. I could also cycle the Miscalc. That might be a better idea. I don't really see them ever tapping low enough for that to matter. Let's cycle the Sandbar as well. I'm going to play out the Ash Barrens. Talisman. Bolt the Frogmite on their turn. Pretty much dead to a Galvanic Blast. I'm almost dead now. I think I'm dead to a Galvanic Blast right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'd be 4 damage. No, I'm not quite. Vault. Disciple, I think I have to counter, because even though I can kill it, they can deal me 4 damage. I don't think I can take 4. I don't think I can take the extra 2 from the munitions. Which is pretty frustrating. All right. What do I want to do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to play this out. I'm going to hold up some blue. I might need to cast a Dispel. I might need a Teachings for Dispel here, so I don't know. So we've got 8 damage. All right, hopefully I don't die. I'm casting the Teachings. Won't take much to kill me. But if I'm not dead here, I'm in pretty decent shape, I think. Actually, might just get Crypt Incursion with this Teachings. Yeah, I think that's lethal, right? No, they need 2 of them. Yeah, I'm dead. Dang. I don't think I could realistically play around this. All right, on to the next. All right, Shattering Pulse comes in. The Hydroblast dispels and Steel Sabotages. I don't think I need anything else. I'm going to cut a Deprive, cut the Capsize, the Electrickery and the Magma Spray, and some number of removal spells that don't kill 4/4s. So I'm going to cut 1 Cannonade, I think, and 1 Bolt. It's possible I should cut like the Disrupt or a Counterspell or something, but I think I'm going to keep those. I'm tempted to cut the Whispers and keep something else. I died to exact damage there. I wonder if I could have done something differently. It's possible I should have, I could have dealt 2 damage to that token at some point, but then I wouldn't have had Teachings available. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to go with this. I haven't seen any of the Graveyard Recursion cards out of them, the Blood Fountains. All right, this looks okay. Let's keep that. I'm going to lead off on this Forgotten Cave. So I don't think I need... Anyway, where I was going with the Blood Fountains, I don't think I need relics. Alright, I'll play that out. Cycle my Forgotten Cave. Exclude is a great one. Duress is annoying, but I've got a bunch of good cards. I'll probably take the Exclude. Maybe if they're really scared of a long game, they take the Whispers. I don't think anything else makes sense to take. Ponder. That's interesting. Do they have another Duress or something? Okay. I guess I'm just not that worried about the Disciple at this point. I'm surprised by that Duress. I'm going to go ahead and grab another blue. And I'll play this on black. Gonna think twice. I don't think I need to play this on black anymore. I think I'll just do another blue. If you guys have any ideas for like really strong sideboard cards against artifact decks, let me know. They can be any color, but they can't be double cost of a color. So, like, I'm probably not looking for what's it called? I'm probably not looking for the double white Exile 2 artifacts. Probably can't quite play that one realistically. But anything else I'm open to. So I didn't cast anything there. I'm gonna Flame Slash, I think, this turn. Been hesitant to do this because they're just going to sacrifice it for value, but honestly, at some point, like, they were just going to do that to a land, so it doesn't really matter. Don't care about Ichor Wellspring, really. It is a 2-mana draw, too, but they've got a lot of stuff like that. That's not even the cheapest draw 2 they have. One Frogmite. We're going to see a couple more. No. I'm kind of happy to keep this miscalc since it keeps them scared. Alright, let's preordain. I don't want that. I think I will take this Cannonade. Not going to cast it yet. Anyway, the reason I didn't really care that much if they Deadly Dispute their Disciple is, like, they've got all these things they could Deadly Dispute anyway, and they've got a lot of land, so, I mean, who cares? I'm going to take one hit from this, and then I'm going to Cannonade end of turn if they don't play anything. Yep, can't counter that. 2 mana draw 3, kind of. I think they printed too much good card advantage lately to really play with Teachings. Teachings is a 10 mana draw 2, and there's 1 mana draw 2s. These are both, like, everything's a 1 mana draw 2 that we've played against so far. So, like, Deadly Dispute only costs 1 mana, like, in reality. I guess I'll Cannonade this guy. I mean, they're just going to Blood Fountain it back, probably, but whatever. If they want to Deadly Dispute again, I'll probably miscalc, I suppose. Alright, things are not looking good. They've been kind of spinning their wheels, but I just have nothing going on. I mean, hopefully they don't have Pyroblast. Okay. I'm gonna wait on this Preordain for now. Yep. I don't care too much about either of those. I am gonna try to exclude the Disciple. I have to decide now if I want to miscalc this. I mean, I can't really. They just cost them one treasure. I'm gonna have to cycle this miscalc at some point. It's never gonna counter anything. Am I just like dead on board munitions? Maybe. Fragmite's fine. Yep, this guy got a counter. We'll see if that works. Probably not. Reason I have to counter this is just on board they have 5 sacrifices just for free. Otherwise I would just kill it, but I'm gonna get Pyroblasted here. Yeah. Cycle the miscalc. See if I can find something. Cycle the Forgotten Cave. Looks like I should have cast the Preordain because I could have put both of those pieces of trash on the bottom. Yeah. We're going to lose this game too. I don't think this deck is viable against anyone playing good decks, unfortunately. I've been doing really well against all the bad decks, which is basically any deck that existed before, like, I think I have to draw a bolt here to kill this Disciple, otherwise I'm dead. I guess I should have cycled that because I could have countered this other one. I'm just dead here on board. But we'll see what they do. It's another 2 damage. That's another 4 damage. I think that's lethal, right? Not quite. I think if they have any spells... Okay, we can concede. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, here we are for round number 3. We're on the play, and I mulligan a no land hand. We're going to ditch this Deprive. Start with a Swiftwater Cliffs. We're playing against Evangeline, who I've played before, I think, in the last couple weeks, but I don't remember what they play. Play something bad. Ooh. Forced? Well, never mind. Let's say forced means we can beat it, but I don't think we can. Let's go ahead and play this guy out. The question is if I want to hold up Disrupt. I'm not going to. Which means I shouldn't have played this land first. These all look good. It's a little awkward that I'm not going to hit a 4th land on time, but it's a lot of card advantage there. Alright, what's my opponent got? Wonder if they're playing Tron. Tron would be cool. Street Wraith, oh, we're getting comboed. Yep. Even decks that are like technically not combo decks are still pretty combo-y these days, so I wonder what they're doing. Could be 1 land spy and they happen to just draw literally their 1 land. Could be one of the decks that plays what's it called? There's some ritual that gives you a billion mana if you have creatures in your graveyard. My guess would be this is not 1 land spy if they're playing all these 1 mana cyclers. Maybe it is. All right, hopefully we hit our land here. They're going to discard presumably another creature. All right. I mean, I guess I want to hold up Miscalc, so I'm not going to foretell my behold. I'm guessing this is a pretty bad matchup, since they can kind of sculpt the perfect hand for a ton of turns. I don't think I want a to counter Chromatic Star. Maybe I should, because I might not get a chance to miscalc anything else, but... Alright, Fiery Cannonade. Maybe they're gonna do some combo that results in a bunch of tokens for some reason. Yeah, Star is fine. I think I'm gonna Teachings... Ooh, I'm gonna Teachings for Crypt Incursion, I think. I'm gonna Behold first, actually, because I want to hit some more lands. I think I'm eventually gonna get that Crypt Incursion, but I'm hoping I have enough protection right now with these spells that I can build up enough lands. Because what I don't want is to only have Crypt Incursion up. Yep, that's fine. All right, Teachings. We're gonna grab Crypt Incursion, and maybe they'll just scoop right there. We'll see. I'm gonna do black with this. I don't know if this is maybe supposed to be a Stinger deck that my opponent's playing. Probably not. Alright, they do have 2 lands, so it's not 1 land spy. They just weren't hitting their lands. I mean, hopefully they cast a Drannith Stinger and I get to exclude it. That would be really awesome. Yeah, I can't tell if this deck, if my opponent is just really mana screwed or if they're playing some like really dirty combo. This feels like they're going to play a Stinger here. Yeah, I mean, I might as well exclude it, right? Could just bolt it, but I think exclude is better. So. Dispel is a good one. Normally I would cycle these miscalcs, but... I mean, I didn't think twice because I don't really want to discard that much. But looks like I'll be discarding, or be, yeah, looks like I'll be discarding anyways and missing my land drop. That's okay. I don't think the removal is going to be very important. All right, Evangeline, what you got next? Land grant. We got Reaping the Graves. Yep, so Songs of the Damned is what we're looking at here. Land grant's fine. I'm going to save my Dispel, I guess, for the Songs of the Damned. Let's do that. And if they cast Manamorphose here, I can disrupt it. Nope, just a star. Okay. So I know most of their hand. Let's flashback this teachings. I'm going to grab another teachings with it. So if they had top decked like exactly another Songs of the Damned, and they could have maybe done something there. Really would have just been a bunch of creatures in their hand though. I've got answers to creatures. They can't actually cast most of these for a while. Or a lot of them, even if they get them back. They're so short on mana, I'm going to try to get value off this Disrupt. A lot of times you don't have to get value off of it, but in this case, I think it's something we can do. All right, Carabid. Yeah, I'm just going to disrupt this guy. Get my value while I can. One card I've been thinking about adding to this deck, I think I'm going to get Capsize, but maybe not till next turn. I'm just going to grab a counterspell here. One card I've been thinking about for this deck against these combo decks is Power Sync. I think that one would be kind of cool. Just take everything they have. Or just, at least all their mana. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and discard this Bolt, I think. Could have cast it targeting them, but I have 3 counterspells up right now. Feel pretty safe with 3 counterspells. I'd feel a lot less safe with just 2 counterspells. Although I'm guessing 1 counterspell will be plenty. Just playing out their Stinger. Guess maybe I should have discarded the Cannonade. I'm just going to kill that for mana efficiency. So Capsize is okay, but it's not really gonna stop them until I can do 2 Capsizes in a turn. And I'm still 3 lands away from that. Alright, opponent. Looks like they're gonna cast Metamorphose. So if they cast another Songs, I think I'm going to just counterspell it. I think they might have wanted to cycle that. Alright, Evangeline. What's done is done. The Baron Moore is on the board. Got to be really careful with cycle lands if you haven't played your land yet. Maybe they're so tilted they're just gone. They're off it now. So if they cast Reaping the Graves for 2 here, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'll just let them have 2 creatures back. Though I do wonder if they can win without these Stingers, and I will have exiled 3 of them. It's possible I should have kept my Magma Spray just so I could exile like everything in the world, just all their Drana Stingers. I want to auto yield to all these cycling guys. That's teachings from my hand. I grab Behold. I don't think with one green mana they can really do anything. So I'll tap low here. These are kind of both what I want, so let's put those on top. I'm just looking for more mana sources so I can start capsizing. And blue. Got another talisman. I'm going to gain an awful lot of life with this Crypt Incursion at some point, I think. One thing I have to be careful of is I don't want them to get to a point where they can cast double Reaping the Graves in one turn. So that is one way that I could get burned pretty badly. So that could be what's happening here. So I'm just so far ahead, I'm going to counter this. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to put the Ash Barrens on the bottom and keep the Aqueduct. All right. So I'm going to grab Capsize this turn and start getting them. I'll just discard this Cast Down. Anamorphose is fine. I think I have to counter this. I don't want them to get to enough mana, like I said, that they can double Reaping the Graves. I don't want them to be able to Reaping the Graves in response to my Crypt Incursion. Yeah, so they do have double, triple Reaping the Graves. Have they played their land yet? This one is fine, because, wait, they only have double, they don't have triple. They failed to find. Looks like they're going to try to force my hand here. Frankly, this isn't that much. I'm not positive I care if they get all these. This is just a draw 5. They're getting all their Street Wraiths, it looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna let this happen. They don't even have red mana right now, and they're gonna have to discard some of these, so, I mean, that's fine. And if they go too crazy, I'll just be able to bolt them to death. So that's another thing to consider. So let's grab... I'm going to grab a counter spell here before I grab Capsize. I don't want to get janked out by something. I don't know what they're going to discard. Maybe like 2 Minotaurs or something. Yep. So, unfortunately, it doesn't let me see all their other stuff. Cabal Ritual is a little annoying. I think I will counter that one. Again, I want to keep them bottlenecked on mana rather than cards. So now I could just bolt them to death. Which I will say is not that exciting. I mean, probably can't lose if I Crypt Incursion here, right? I can miscalc a Manamorphose. This is a lot less fun, though. Oh, we did it. All right, so they didn't have a great draw there, I don't think. So I'm going to want these ones, these ones. Thorn is kind of interesting. Put that in the maybe pile. I don't want that stuff. I don't think I want Weather the Storm. Gaining life is really not where I want to be against this deck, I don't think. So what am I going to take out? Sacrifice a creature seems pretty bad. Electricity seems bad. Pretty much all their removal seems bad. Magma Spray seems, I guess, a little better. I want to keep a couple cannonades, and I want to keep some number of like each thing. Because they do have, like, they might just cast some of those 5-mana creatures. I'm going to cut enough of this stuff, though, that I can get both these thorns in, I think. They don't have any removal or anything, so I should be able to thorn them to death. This all seems good. Maybe I should have brought in Weather instead of one piece of removal. Who knows? I'll keep this. They mulligan to 6. Hopefully we can see their deck really go off. They stumbled a lot last game. Let's see what they have. Forest, and presumably a star is coming out. I think I'll do red with this. So I don't need the black for a while, and I've already got a black source here, so. So they missed their land drop, which makes sense. They're only playing like 4 lands in the whole deck, so that's definitely going to happen. I'm going to get this relic going. It's probably going to be pretty hard for them to beat. I used to have a Bajuka Bog in this deck, and I do wonder if I should bring it back. There's a lot of decks that use the graveyard. I didn't play my bounce land this turn because I'm going to try to keep this... I'm going to try to keep this relic crack up the whole game. At least when there's like any chance of them going off. I'm gonna run this out. I don't foresee them comboing me this turn. At least not through a relic. So one tip, if you want to save some time with your relics, I'll show you here once something hits the graveyard. If you hold control, so I'm going to hold control here and target my opponent, and then I can save targets and always yield. So from now on, I won't have to click my opponent when I activate my relic. So I can try to play a little faster. Another star is fine. All right, let's play this island out. So we're in a pretty good spot here. Double counters up. Relic in play. Going to be tough, I think, for them to make progress at this point. What are we going to see here? Stinger can resolve. So now you can see with my relic, I don't have to target them. I just double click it and it will hit them. If they play 2 stingers here, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. Yeah, that's not going to be great for them. That's why I kept these, like, a couple cannonades in. So I could do that. All right, and we can pass the turn here. So we know they've got this Carabit in their hand. And that's all we know at this point. I guess I might as well counter this at this point. I don't really see how they can win through it, so I'll just counter it. Yep. They agree they can't win through it either, so I think this is a pretty good matchup for us. Our opponent doesn't have the most resilient combo, and they don't have a lot of card advantage like a lot of the other combo decks do, so that's what the other Storm decks have really been doing well, is all the deadly disputes. Like you deadly dispute your experimental synthesizer, and suddenly you've spent 3 mana and 2 cards. You've drawn 4 cards basically, and you get a treasure back. So you basically spend 3 mana and 2 cards to get 4 cards. I mean, it's just so strong. And you get a couple Storm out of the deal. So that's what this deck, I think, is missing against us, at least. This deck might be more resilient against other decks, but not against teaching. So, all right, we got one. On to the next round. Here we are for round number 4 against Deathy Man. And we've got an interesting one. I think we have to mulligan this just because Crypt Incursion is kind of a dead card. And these Ash Barrens are a little bad. This one we can keep. I think I'm going to get rid of the island, maybe? The Ash Barrens is a black source. I'll just draw a black source eventually. Hopefully Electrickery does something. Swamp, not looking good for Electrickery here. So black decks are a pretty good matchup normally. Our hand is like really bad, so it might not be a good matchup this particular game here. I'm going to Flame Slash that and pick up its Cliffs. I'm going to Bog me. Put myself in kind of an awkward spot here, not having cast Ponder at all. I think I'm going to play the island out and Ponder and see if I can find a miscalc. Did not. And I don't think these are very good. Well, hopefully my opponent doesn't have a Thorn. We could potentially beat a Thorn in some games, but not this one. Okay. Exclude right on time. I mean, truthfully, it is probably right on time. Because they haven't cast anything good yet. Witches are obviously just horrible against us. I might exclude a Gray Merchant here. Definitely excluding a Chittering Rats. Crypt Incursion's pretty bad. Bad draw now, just like it was before. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and Edict to them. They should ping me. They do. Alright, we need to draw some card advantage here. Just go ahead and terminate this guy. I'm going to pick up Swiftwater Cliffs. So Electrickery usually doesn't kill anything in their deck. It is possible that it kills 6 damage. Am I getting corrupted? Oh man. That's a brutal one. It's possible that if they're playing like Liliana's Spectre, it can kill it, but Disrupt. Alright. Tempted here to Crypt Incursion that stuff just so they can't Angler again. I think I will. So hopefully they don't top deck any Thorns. This Electrickery might do something if I draw Flame Slash. Darn. Teachings. Yes. We're back in the game. So I've got 8 mana here. Probably going to Teachings for Behold. Because I have just massive greed. And we'll find some removal for these guys at some point here. I don't really want either of these. I said I don't want the Cannonade. Maybe I should have kept the other one. I could have done double Cannonade plus Electrickery to clear this board. Let's go ahead and cycle this. Alright, we got a cast down. I'm not going to cast that yet. If they play their land before attacking, then I will probably cast them down. But I'm just happy to take another 7 here. Really don't want to get my Teachings Pajuka bogged. That would be pretty much a disaster because I have nothing else going on. But I think it's going to be hard to lose from this spot at this point. Do black. Cast down. They could technically string off a bunch of stuff in a row here, but I don't really see a super reasonable path to them killing us here. I'm just going to Teachings for Teachings. I'll eventually just draw something that kills this probably, and if I don't... Blast from the past. I'm back, baby. I don't remember Deathy Man, but... yeah, that is... that is when I played it. My opponent doesn't look like my opponent knows that my deck list is available. Online, I mean, I haven't won any I haven't won any 5-0s with it. And man, my record's been super bad in these matches with you guys. All right, let's preordain. I guess we're just looking for lands at this point. These are both pretty good. I'm just gonna run out the Ash Barrens. Foretell. I do have to kill this, I think, here. Well, not quite here, but you know, like in a turn or two. What I don't want to have happen is for this guy to come, like for this Sign in Blood to kill me somehow. I'm gonna put the Ponder on the bottom. I'll just, you know, double spell kill this guy. Select Trickery is not really a card anyways, so... So I did get low enough here that I could die to a couple Sign in Blood, so I am going to have to hold up some counter spells until I draw some talismans. Rager's fine. I've got Cannonade for that. Alright. It's teachings again. Let's grab another teachings, I suppose. Cannonade. Go ahead and pick this up. Do have to be careful of my time. This could be a long matchup, and we could definitely go to game 3 in this one. Like I could definitely lose a long game. So what happens a lot with this deck is you usually don't have time for 3 long games, but you don't usually have 3 long games. Usually you lose in a short game. You don't usually lose any long games. So I guess I'll start with the capsizing, you know? Truly evil. Alright, opponent. Deathy Man, you gotta cast something. I mean, I assume they just have a bunch of removal in their hand. This used to be such an easy matchup because they had so much dead removal. These decks tend to play less removal now, I think, than they used to. And it makes sense because I don't think removal is very good most of the time, just in the format in general. You have to run it so you don't get run over, but you don't really want to have to run it. It's like almost every creature in the format is a 2-for-1. Alrighty. I'm gonna cannonade away this rat. Fortunately, that means just 1 capsize this turn. What's my shortcut? I think I gotta figure out what my shortcut is for tapping mana here. Tapping mana A. Okay. So that's one trick you can do to be a little faster at tapping your mana here. We'll see it in action, I think, on this turn. So you don't have to do it when you're tapping the bounce lands, but when you are using dual lands, you do have to tap the auto mana selector. Let's just play that guy. All right, our opponent officially can no longer cast anything. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce this Bajuka Bug on my turn. I'll put them down to 1 mana for the rest of the game. All right, let's just auto yield to that Bajuka Bug. I don't really care. So we've locked this game up. I'm going to pause the recording and then we'll come back for their sideboarding. All right, here we are for sideboarding. So mercifully, I guess, our opponent, they did make us play it all the way to the end, but they stopped playing lands and took all their stops off. So we'll see if they get got by this common trick. But when you take all your stops off, you got to make sure to put them back on for the next game, or you miss your whole first turn, which has happened many times to me and my opponents with this deck. We'll often both miss we'll both miss our first couple turns. So we'll see. I already turned mine back on, so see what happens to them. I didn't really see much from them with graveyard synergies, but I think I still bring these in, and then I'm going to bring the thorns in. As for stuff I don't want against their deck, Dispel basically does nothing, and Electrickery basically does nothing, so I definitely don't want either of those. And then, in general, removal is not great against them, and Disrupt gets a lot better post-board because they usually have a lot more discard spells, so... Yeah, we got through a lot of cards. The clock management was definitely some serious business. I think I'll get rid of Death to the Kami. I don't expect him to have any artifacts or enchantments that I care about. And 3 mana for basically what amounts to an Innocent Blood is not really where I want to be. And I gotta take out one more. It's just some removal of some kind. I like to keep the Cannonades because they can sweep up usually just 2/2/2s, sometimes more, but usually just 2. Magma Spray, if they've got like Unearth or something, it's kind of nice sometimes to exile one of the 2/2s, but maybe I'll just get rid of that. I like to keep the Bolts over the Magma Spray because it's nice to be able to kill witches with the Bolt. So I think I'm still just going to get rid of the Bolt. I don't care about those stupid witches. All right. Let's submit. So you can see here I've already put my stops back on. So we'll see if their turn just, I'm going to keep this, just skips right to their end step. Oh, you remembered. Good on you, opponent. Yeah, this is clearly an experienced, an opponent with some experience with this matchup. So I'm going to name red here. So this is where you would like a lot of the time. I think I'm going to discard 2 removal spells. A lot of the time you'd like to be able to disrupt, something like that. So I'm going to play this island out. All right, I've got this deprive for when they play a thorn. Duress, I would say I don't care too much about. I'm going to get to thorn them next turn. The thing is, if I thorn them, I might just die. So, yeah, okay, I don't think I can thorn them now. So they've 2-for-1 me a couple times here. gonna take that. They know they can resolve their thorn. Ooh, Raven's Crime. I guess I gotta get rid of the Ponder. I just never really had a chance to cast it. I think I have the teachings for some card draw here. I'm gonna grab this Behold. Always Beholding. Exclude is a good one. They might just Bajuka Bog my teachings here, which is why I want to get some card draw going. Perfect. Exclude was a great draw. So was Flame Slash. So this is a tough one. I think I'm just going to pass here. This was a mistake. I always forget to do this. I obviously should have foretold this. Yeah, this is fine. I'm going to kill both of these. I'm actually going to put the Talisman on top. Okay, I guess that wasn't so great. So I put that on top because what I wanted to do was, if they play a Wrench Mine, I want to discard the Talisman. I'm just going to counter this. Probably don't need to. Yeah, if I want to keep a black, I have to tap low here. I'm going to hold this one for Wrench Mind again. Fortunately, they drew the bog kind of right when I was, like, next turn I was probably going to get flashback that teachings, but that's all right. I'm still going to eat another 2 damage here. Hopefully they don't have a creature. Looks like they do. This guy Edict this guy, and looks like I'm just going to have to play out this Thorn. I wanted to have a clear board for it, but that's just not my life. There's something to be said about not playing the Talisman in case I drew something. Looks like they did keep removal in, which means when we lose this game, I'm going to go ahead and take those Thorns out, I think. All right, let's Boilerworks here. I don't want either of these. So it is possible if I draw like teachings and then I can get capsize, I might be able to, and they like draw a bunch of removal, I could maybe win. Hopefully they cast a creature here. Nope. They just drew 2 lands. It's a decent chance I would have won this game if I just kept one of those Flame Slashes and discarded the Thorn early on. That's a tough one. All right, we're dead. Game was a lot quicker. So I think I'm going to take both these Thorns out. Put a Bolt in. Everything else is so bad, though. So maybe I'll leave 1 Thorn in. I do want to have some chance of winning if they happen to land a thorn. All right, I'm gonna keep this. Hopefully they don't have duress. So I can protect this now. Since I'm on the play here, yeah, they're just gonna take my counterspell anyway. But since I'm on the play here, I would be able to have counterspell up for a thorn anyways. Let's play this. Depending on what I get with this. Oh geez. So I don't know if they just misland or what. I'm gonna put one of these on top. Behold is a good draw. Let's foretell it. Hopefully they miss a land again. Looks like not. So I wonder if my opponent maybe wasn't F6ing all the turns and was instead, they have like F8 enabled. Well, they couldn't have. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with their stops in our long game. Let's get this talisman out. So I haven't seen any thorns from them. And they can't cast Thorn and Duress this turn. Alright, I am going to be in trouble here if they have a Duress, land, and a Thorn. But Jukabog is no problem. Let's find some card advantage here, hopefully. Nope. Not even a bounce land. Alright, let's get more blue out there. That's a pretty good draw. I prefer like a Teachings or something, of course, but Counterspell is no slouch. Rattled off a lot of lands in a row for missing a land drop early. It is possible they didn't actually... They just maybe like forgot to play their land or click through it. Rager's fine. Witches is also fine. Go ahead and cannonade. I'm going to flame slash this. I'm going to save these Innocent Bloods for Anglers. Rager's fine too. It's possible I should have just left the Ragers. So I'm going to Teachings for Behold. I don't really need more lands that badly. I'll take some at some point, but I don't really need them. Wonder how much removal my opponent has in their deck. Just gonna cast out... Let's do this. I was gonna play the Lonely Sandbar, but let's just do this. I do still have a black mana here, in case they have another bog. I would say I don't really care about Gray Merchant, so that's fine to resolve. Sign of Blood's also fine. Alright, we're going to teachings for teachings. I guess I need to tap a black mana. I'll innocent blood this guy too. I should have no problem dealing with an angler at this point. Shooting rats is fine. I'll just put this swamp on top. Shuffle it away. Let's cannonade away the rat. And I guess I'll miscalc this. Gray Merchant. I don't really foresee my miscalc staying alive forever. It's teachings for another teachings. Things are looking pretty good here. Gonna take some really good draws, I think, for my opponent to come back from this one. Gray Merchant, I'll just kill with Edict. I'm not even taking the 2. Sign Blood's fine. It's possible my opponent should be saving some of their lands for when they draw Raven's Crime. It's potentially one way they could kind of get out of this. I'm going to grab Whispers. I'm going to wait to start capsizing them until I find a relic. Just don't really care about that. I'll eventually draw an answer to it. I don't really care about that either. Just going to draw a bunch of cards here, and eventually I'll find removal for these guys. I have a lot of turns to do it. Hey, look, that's removal for both of them. Let's see how much mana I have. I want to keep 5 mana up. It's 4. It's not quite enough. I'll wait to do that till later. And if they Bajuka Bog the Edict, so be it. It's not a big deal. I'll grab something with teachings. I still have a number of spells that kill that guy with teachings. I guess maybe I should have done that first. I'm just going to start playing these out. Now Spellbomb is fine. They can take my Chainer's Edict away if they want. There's my relics. Now I can start capsizing them. I didn't want to do that until I had a way to deal with Raven's Crime. Let's put both these on top. All right, pretty much got this locked up. Just need to make sure that we can finish in time. Rager gets our opponent one step closer to death. I'm really tempted to let this resolve just so I can kill them faster, but I'm gonna exclude it. Because I don't think even drawing 2 cards a turn that they're gonna be able to beat me, but I think we're still not quite at a spot where I can risk that. Like, I think maybe like 2 turns from now I'll be in a spot where it's okay if they resolve a Thorn. All right, let's teachings. First one's going to grab another teachings. Second one is going to grab capsize. I think my opponent might be typing right now. No. I'm going to go grab my opponent, my deck list, and I'll see you guys for the next round. All right, here we are for round number 5 for all the marbles. We've got an okay hand. We're going to keep it. Oh, and we're playing against elves. This should be a fairly easy matchup most of the time. We are just looking for wrath effects. Gonna go ahead and hold up miscalculation here. If they play like a priest, I'm gonna counter it. Normally I wouldn't care about the priest very much, but I don't want them to get to too fast of a start, and they don't have much going on right now. Well, I'm filled with regret, but that card is still amazing in this matchup. So, capsize not great. I don't really need this stuff. I'm gonna shuffle. I have teaching, so I already have a ton of. I've already got a ton of value. I'm gonna pick up the swamp actually. I think we pretty much already locked this one up, but it is possible they could do something crazy like with some lead the stampedes and get really off the rails. Hopefully they play even more stuff here. Yeah. I think it's super likely I play this cannonade this turn, so I'm gonna run out this isle. I'm not really scared of them playing much of anything. I don't care about that one. Don't care about that one either. See if they play one more. So, is this cannonade good, you guys? Yes or no? Yeah, okay. All right, on to the next round, on to the sideboarded games. This matchup is pretty good for us, so I don't have any sideboard cards for it. I do have to decide if I want some of the cards that are bad. The only ones that are... These are probably the worst ones. The question is, do I bring in something like Relic instead of these? Sometimes the elf decks have something you want to dispel, but usually not. Capsize can be okay against, I don't know, Spider Silk or whatever, the enchantment, but now that we have Debt to the Kami, I'm not sure I really need that. The only things I would really consider bringing in are these. Thorn is actually usually pretty good here again because they don't have removal, so we can actually kill them. So I think I am going to take both these out and put in the Thorns. I don't think there's anything else I want to change. I definitely want all my removal. Deprive could come out if I wanted one of these cards more, but I don't think I do. So I'm just gonna stick with the Deprive, I think. Yeah. Let's do it up. This hand is okay. I think I'm going to keep it on the back of some of this removal. Okay, I'm going to do this and name blue. So I'm going to bolt something and then I'm going to play this for black, most likely. But yeah, especially if they have nothing besides this, I'm definitely going to bolt this elf. Yep, just going to bolt that elf. This is going to be black. This hand wasn't necessarily a great keep. All right, they just gave up. Well, that was a quick one. A little anticlimactic, but another 3-2. Nothing to sneeze at, but certainly not an impressive finish. We kind of beat the three older style decks, and we lost to two new style decks, which has been pretty much my experience. Been really struggling with the decks that are playing the super powerful new cards, especially Synthesizer and Deadly Dispute. Those decks are just so good. Synthesizer especially is just completely bonkers. There's obviously no way that we can play it in this deck because we play too many counter spells, but that card is really strong. So I'm definitely gonna be playing some decks that are utilizing Experimental Synthesizer coming up. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I can get a 5-0 with this deck. I've been so close a couple times. Obviously not on video. You guys haven't seen any, unfortunately, that I've gotten too close, but I've had 3 different 4-1s, so it's just a matter of time, I think, until I get that 5-0. And the 2-3 from the last video is the only losing record I've had with this deck so far. So deck is decent, but not great. I don't think it could compete at, it can compete in these leagues, but I don't think it could compete at a big tournament with all the best players playing all the best decks. I don't think we can quite keep up with the best decks in the format. So that's a shame, but I'll keep tweaking this and working on it, and hopefully eventually I'll get that 5-0. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Leave me some comments, likes, and subscriptions if you want to see more content like this. Gonna probably take a little break from teachings videos for a little while here and try out some new stuff. So give me ideas in the comments for new decks to play. Definitely gonna be playing some combo decks coming up here soon. There's a couple of really cool combo decks that I want to play. So I've already got the Goblin one, the Mogwarts deck, and I want to play one of the Storm decks too, one of the Galvanic Relay decks. So gonna play at least a couple of those coming up here. And then I don't know what I'm going to play after that. So give me some ideas. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.